So how do I attract the right clients for my coaching business? This is something that a lot of our coaches ask us, especially when they're first getting started. And I want to tackle this 3 ways: the mindset, meaning how you think about it. 2 is the tactics, some of the ways that we found to find the right clients. And 3 is accountability, getting yourself to show up. Because here's the thing, when you first get started, it kind of feels like, number one, everybody's a coach out there. How do I stand out? And why would somebody join me when they can join all of these other people that's out there, right? So we really need to think about, first off, the mindset about how we can make sure that we attract the right clients, right? 2 things come up with me. The first thing is the most important thing is for you to be yourself, your real, authentic self. Because if you go out there thinking that you have to be someone else in order to achieve your goals, you're going to try to be the second-rate version of somebody else when the best version of you is always available, right? Because you get to be you. People get attracted to you, your story, your value, your goals, what you want to be able to accomplish, how you've been able to accomplish that, right? And you being the real you is going to help you attract the right people. I mean, let's say you don't have $1 million business, right? But you start talking the language of what $1 million business owner would talk. Those people are going to potentially start reaching out to you, and you may not be able to help them to your best ability. And so, especially if like somebody buys your program or your product, they get inside and you're entirely different than you are on social media, there's just an incongruence. And I actually don't normally see that because people can see through when you're trying to be like someone else, right? So my first tip is to make sure that you remind yourself, just be yourself. What are your values? What are your goals? What do you do exceptionally well? And lean into that. Don't lean into what somebody else does well or what you think somebody else does that attracts clients. Think about like it through your own lens. I know when we talk about social media, people are like, what should I post on social media? And it's like, well, let's think about what are some of the problems that you went through that you actually help people solve, right? What are some of the values that you have that are near and dear to you, like us, family? We're always going to be talking about family. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. Like I'm going to bring up a way of how this applies to your family as well as how it applies to your coaching business, right? Because that's a natural part of what we do. And it's going to grab onto people who really value family like us. And it's going to repel people away who are like, hey, I'm just the 10X guy. I just want to take more action. And there's no problems with any of that. Everybody just has to be their self because you're going to attract people who are naturally more like you. And those are going to be your best clients, not the ones who you attract who are like you. So that's the mindset. First is make sure that you are yourself. People are attracted to you, your story, the way that you communicate. That stuff is not your weakness. That's actually a superpower.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the tactics around it. So how do you go out there, attract more of the quote unquote right clients?
I think the way that I think about it is that you kind of try it on for size. So what I mean is that the sessions that you have, you start to identify like who it is that you actually want to work with. Because sometimes we will identify someone, but then when we start to actually coach them, it doesn't seem like a right fit.
Yeah.
So I think that the more sessions that you do, the more coaching that you do with different people, you'll start to figure out who it is that you do want to work with and who is your right client. And I think that's something that will really stand out to you and is the most practical way of identifying the right people.
Yeah, you brought up a really great point there. And that is like when you're in sessions with people and you're like, this person is like my ideal favorite client. Ask yourself, what are we talking about? What are the problems that I'm helping them solve? What are they going through right now? Because when you were to post on social media, do a YouTube video or whatever, you want to talk about the pain points and the problems that you're helping solve. So you will attract more people who have those pain points and problems,
Yes.
right? For us, for example. So early on, I lost 100 pounds and then everybody started asking me about health and fitness. And so I naturally started talking about health and fitness and some of the problems that I help people through, some of the things that I've gone through. And it started to attract people who were like wanting to lose weight. And what I realized is after doing that for 5 or 6 years that I was like, I want to make a pivot. I want to start helping entrepreneurs. I want to start helping coaches, people who are struggling with how they get their clients better results. You know what I had to do? I had to start talking about the problems that people struggle with when they start their coaching business. I mean, today, what's the question is, how do I attract more of the right clients for my coaching business? Literally, we're doing that right now. And the person who's watching is probably somebody who connects with this. They're like, hey, I want to know the answer to this, right? So it's the same way as when you think about the tactics, you got to ask yourself, what am I putting out there, which is going to attract a certain person? And then tweak it along the way, right? One of the things that we realize is you can make it sound super easy on social media to do what it is that you did, right? I mean, for example, you're like, coaching is so easy. Like all you have to do is ask these 3 questions and like you will help your clients get incredible results. You don't realize that you attract people who want it to be easy, right? Even the people who are the high performers are like, oh, this is going to be easy. Let me sign up for it. As opposed to saying, this is hard. You're dealing with people and all of the different technology and electronics and things that are going to try and pull them away, including their brain from doing and taking action. You have to be willing to lean in and help your clients find out what's actually holding them back and then help them create a plan in order to achieve it, right? And so if that's something you're willing to do, that's what we can teach you. But it's hard work. So is like making a transformation in someone's life, right? And when you put something out there like that, now you're calling out to someone who they could have been the person before, but because you called out to it's easy, they wouldn't have been willing to put in action. But if you put in like this is for high performers, this is for people who are willing to take action, even that same person will raise up their expectations. But these are all things we had to learn by putting out things and figuring out like, what is that language that we want to attract our clients with? So I really love that. You're a coach with a big heart and a powerful desire to make a real difference in the world. But what if you could increase your impact, increase your confidence, and grow a business with ease? I want to help by offering you a free coaching call so we can discover exactly how to help you feel aligned and equipped to guide your clients to even more incredible results. We'll also create a plan to scale your business while maintaining your work-life balance. If you're ready to turn your passion of helping other people into sustainable growth, click the link below and book your free call. Thank you for being willing to lean in, and let's get right back into the show. All right, let's talk about the third thing, which is accountability, which is getting yourself to do it. We all know that there's a lot of like mindset hacks to get you to do it, but also like all of these stories that we tell ourselves, all these perspectives that we have that can very easily get people to not do the things of putting the messages out there, connecting with people, having conversations, having coaching sessions and stuff like that. So I'm curious for you, when you think about the things that have gotten you to take action, to show up, to do those things, to find out how to talk to and attract the right clients, what are some of those things that you did to hold you accountable to take action?
One of them is finding a community of other coaches that I can learn from, that I can tell them what I'm going through or some of the struggles that I'm having, and then maybe they can give me some tactics. And I think that gives me a little bit more of a push to actually take the right actions. Because when you feel like you're moving in the right direction where you're not going to have a misstep, then you're more likely to actually take more of those actions. So finding a community where I know that they maybe have gone through what I'm currently going through and they found a way to get through it, then that gives me a bit more of an ability to actually take those actions.
Yeah, I love that. I know we have a community, actually a free book club for coaches. We'll leave the link inside of the show notes, but really being able to find that community is huge, right? Because if you're taking the actions and everybody else is taking those same actions, it just feels normal for you to learn, for you to grow, and for you to figure it out. But if you're in a community that's like just the normal people we hang out in real life, right? Like for me being a police officer, hanging out with other police officers did not help me grow in my coaching business. It also didn't help me be a more positive person, right? And so I knew I needed to do that, but I need to spend more time in the right communities, right? So finding your true community is going to help connect all of those other pieces and help you attract those right clients.